Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. This is for the Off the Board with Pineapple Papers YouTube hop, where we take Pinterest inspiration and get them used up on a page. So I have a sketch this time. I needed something for 2 landscape 4x6 photos, and I found this one. I really liked the big layers in it and where the embellishment placements were, so that's kind of what I'm rolling with. I'm going through One Canoe 2 Saturday afternoon to try and find my papers. This is at the Georgia Aquarium, Atlanta Aquarium. So I'm trying to pick out the blues and things that remind me of water and then pull in some colors from the photo. These photos are very green. These particular photos is Bennett in front of the alligator snapping turtle. So there's a lot of green. It's more rocky than, the blue ocean looking exhibits. So I definitely wanted some green in there too. So I'm going to use this blue hexagon paper as the big background, and then use this green kind of seaweed looking paper as the large chunk in the middle. And then I did invert the sketch because Bennett is facing to the right, so I want the photos on the left, so he's looking into the page. So you will notice that I flipped the sketch, so I'm basically doing the mirror image of it. So as I'm working, you'll kind of see that, but I definitely want those photos going there. Sorry for the glare. And now I need a few vertical pieces. So I need one large-ish piece. Decided to pull in this yellow because I had a scrap of it and it was about the right size. I'm actually getting down in this paper pad. For some reason, I feel like I still had a ton of it left, but as I was flipping through, I had a lot of the big floral papers that come in the collection, but not too many other papers. So I'm relying heavily on scraps, and then you will see me have to cut into one of these floral pieces to get a piece of the solid chunk that's on the top for one of the pages. But I wanted more blues, and so I pulled in this ice cream cone that I thought I would use, but I was like, this doesn't make any sense doing ice cream cone on Georgia Aquarium page. It wasn't relevant. I'm okay using random items sometimes, but it also introduced pink, and I didn't want pink introduced into the color scheme. But I did find this green branding strip in the paper pad, and I thought that was perfect. I really just needed a skinny vertical strip of something. So I'm going to end up using the branding strip as that piece instead. So I have the yellow strip, that's the big vertical strip. I'm going to tuck the branding strip behind that. And then I do need a large scallopy border if I'm going to follow the sketch literally, which I plan to. And I don't have a large scallopy border punch. They're all like tiny little cute scallops. So you will see how I do that. I kind of had to jimmy rig a way to get a large scallop. So yeah, but first I'm going to get the branding strip down. I can't remember if I do that next or not. Usually when I do sketches, I want to get all the major paper layers done. So I have this one floral bit, and I really just want the blue piece at the top of this page, and I need to cut a large scallop. So I'm using a roll of washi tape and tracing the circles and just lining them all up next to each other so that the edges touch. And I'm tracing on the back of the paper so I don't have to worry about erasing pencil lines or anything. But by the end of this, once I fussy cut the tops of these circles, it looks like a large scalloped piece. So you can see there all my traced circles. And I'm just trimming it down a little bit. It's not supposed to be 12 by 12, so I'm cutting it down to that last scallop. And I'm just fussy cutting around my tracing. So I'm very pleased with how this turned out. I was a little bit worried it would not turn out very well, but I'm pretty pleased. So I'm going to go ahead and get that tucked in there for that large scallopy detail that I needed for the sketch. I really like that introduction of that blue. It's slightly different than the other blue, so it stands out. It doesn't melt into the background, and it does exactly what I need it to. And then on the sketch, there's a circular element coming out from that circle. With some an embellishment cluster, a large embellishment cluster. So I thought for the circular piece I would use a doily, and now I'm going through all the ephemera to figure out what I want to do as far as embellishment wise. There is like embellishment towered all up the center of this page, and I really liked how that looked in the original sketch. But as I get working with my ephemera pieces, I find little clusters I want to use here and there, but nothing that I really want to pile up in one area. So my embellishment changes a little bit. I kind of keep the same 3 spots where they put stuff. Or I'm sorry, they didn't have anything in 3 spots. I think they just had like a title under the photos and then a big embellishment cluster over there where I have my doily. But as I started playing with my ephemera pieces, I really liked the idea of using this little lifesaver just because it is kind of aquatic themed with it being an aquarium, and I really like the blue of this ticket that says hello weekend. So I layered those together. I think that's a nice little starter cluster. And then I do need a title to go below the photos, but I found this nice piece that says life is a collection of moments and I thought I might use that as my title. It's that same nice blue color, so I decided to put that down there where the sketch has it in its title. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I am going to pop the ticket up on some foam as well as the little sentiment, just so there's a tiny bit of dimension. But I'm kind of thinking those will be 2 spots of embellishments, and that sentiment will be my title. And then I still want an embellishment cluster over by the doily. So that's my plan right now. I'm really just trying to stick to the blues that I can find in the ephemera pieces. There's lots in there that's super cute, but I didn't want to introduce any more colors, so I kind of limited myself to sticking to this yellow, green, and blue color scheme, which I really like the end result. I'm glad I didn't add anything else, but it did limit me as far as this collection because there's lots of pinks in there. So going through my hashtag sticker book to try and find some other stuff to layer up. I'm looking for banners and other small pieces that I can tuck in just to beef these clusters up a little bit more. I did find this nice little banner that has that same blue hexagon pattern as the background frame, so I did tuck that behind my little sentiment. And I'm just looking for more to pile on, but the only thing I really found were these little yellow hearts, but I figured I needed to pull yellow in there too since I did introduce the yellow with that one vertical scrap piece, so I'm okay with that. And then once I pulled in the yellow, I decided that it might be nice to pull in some blue hearts too, so you saw me pull in that one blue heart. But yeah, I need to figure out my ephemera piece for the doily, so I did just take a scrap of this blue triangular paper that comes in the collection now that I've introduced this darker blue with that lifesaver. I decided I would pull that into another spot as well, so I just cut that into a tag, and that's going to be the base for my ephemera piece. There is a tag there in the sketch too, so I knew I needed something. I just wasn't sure if I was going to use a tag I already had or make a tag, but after I introduced this darker blue with my ephemera groups, I thought this scrap of this darker blue would be perfect to pull in there, so that's what I'm working on now. And then there is a camera that is green and yellow, and since those are also 2 colors I'm working with, I decided to pop that up on some foam as well to put over my my tag, and I really like that. I hem and haw a lot here because I really wanted a large embellishment cluster like there was in the sketch, so I kept trying to build up stuff. I did take a scrap of this green grassy paper that I had a scrap of and did a scallop border or circular punch to go behind the camera, and I really like how that frames the camera, gets it somewhere to sit on top of that tag. But I hemmed and hawed a lot here trying to find more stuff to add to that ephemera or that embellishment cluster. But in the end, I was like, let me just go back to my hearts. I wanted some more navy, so I took the navy sticker off, and I had these cute little navy enamel hearts, so I put one of those on each of the yellow hearts, and I really like how that pulls that darker blue into both of those clusters. And then I thought about putting one in the middle of the camera, but it got a little lost, so I decided to do an enamel dot instead. And at first I think about doing one of these lighter blue ones to pull in that light blue from the other pattern papers, but I end up changing that. I don't mind how that looks, but with having the yellow hearts in the other sections, I kind of wanted something yellow, so that sits there for a second. And then I realized I wasn't going to add any more embellishment wise to that area, but I still wanted more there, so I decided to add a title there instead of using my little sentiment as my title. I figured that could be a subtitle or just decoration, and I decided to use an actual title, so I'm going in with some foam alphabet stickers. I'm just gonna call it Oh Snap. I thought that was really cute, one because there's a camera there and I'm snapping a picture, but two because this is a snapping turtle, so I thought I would just do a little play on words there. So I'm pretty pleased with that too, but I think that fills that area out just enough to where it feels done. It was just looking too bare before. Even now it's more of a simpler smaller page, but I kind of like that. There is a lot of different little details going on, and I like that there's larger layers, so your eye kind of has places to rest, but there's still interesting things around the page. So you can see I'm switching that enamel dot on the camera to yellow, and I think that finishes up the page. So here are the close-ups. Make sure if you guys play along, you use our hashtag, and you can search our hashtag to find everyone else's videos for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.